Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing all right. So, thank you to everyone who gave me some suggestions in yesterday's video, and I'm going to do one of them today. And Dips left a comment on talking about like how I was 5 years ago versus now, and then like what I guess I think it was like what I think I'll be like in 5 years or that sort of thing. Sorry if I've got that wrong, Dips. I've just had an absolute brain fog. But yeah, so 5 years ago I would have been 17, and it would be, what was happening then? So May, so would have been in, you know what, apparently you're not really meant to talk about what happened in the world, because apparently YouTube doesn't really like it, so I'll avoid that. I feel like I've probably mentioned it before, but anyway. So that was happening, which meant that this was around the time where no, not yet. I would have found out that I wouldn't be doing my A-levels, and they'd be based on predicted grades or teacher's assessment, that sort of thing. So yeah, I would have, the year before, I would have been building up to these final exams in sixth form for my A-levels, and then not be able to do them. So I think I was kind of, obviously part of me was relieved that I didn't have to do exams, but part of me was a bit like, I'd worked hard for this. I'd done my mock exams and not done as well as I could have done due to lack of preparation and everything. And then thinking it was just gonna be based on that, I was a bit like, oh, that's a bit annoying. In the end, I think it was kind of teacher's assessment, so it's fine. Anyway, besides the point. Yeah, I don't think I was in the best place then, to be honest, 5 years ago. It was a time where I believe I was very gym, fitness, nutrition focused, but obsessively. And it really affected my mental health, because so much of my time and effort and mental capacity was spent on this. And it was something that I think started out as something really enjoyable and was still enjoyable, but to the extent that it was very obsessive. And yeah, it wasn't the best for me. And I think, so at this point, I presume, yeah, I would have had an offer from Exeter at this point, and then would have just needed the grades, which I ended up getting soon after, in what, like August or something, when you get results. And yeah, I would have been thinking about uni, and I wouldn't have been at uni yet, which is kind of crazy to think about, that 5 years ago I hadn't even been to uni, and where I'm sat now, I've done 4 years of uni in Exeter. So I did my undergraduate degree in English, my undergrad. I did my master's in psychology, which is a year, and the English was 3 years. And yeah, coming to now, I'm now studying to be a therapist, and I'm like doing a foundation year in London, and then in September, if I pass this year, I'll be doing a course which is another 4 years, and then I'll be qualified as a psychotherapist and counsellor, or I think I'll probably just go as psychotherapist, which is kind of crazy. So I think 5 years ago I would never have dreamed of, like, partly where I'm at now, in terms of, although I definitely struggle a lot with anxiety, I still struggle with my mental health. I think anxiety is the main one for me. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago that I'd be living with my girlfriend. I didn't know my girlfriend existed 5 years ago. And living together and having a job in a school. I would never have known this, and I never planned this. And until more recently. And I wouldn't have had a clue 5 years ago that I wanted to be a therapist, because 5 years ago I'd done my A-levels, which were English, history and Latin, not psychology. Although I was kind of interested in mental health at that point, it was mainly just because of my own experiences, my own difficulties, but it wasn't thinking of that route at that point. So it's just so interesting. So thank you, Dips, again. It's so interesting to think about how things were 5 years ago, not in the best place, a lot of it being around food, nutrition, many other things, of course, things that I obviously like, more personal things, and looking at that journey over the 5 years to now, being at uni, having lots of ups and downs at uni, growing as a person massively, and then where I'm at now, where I'm now in the working world, but I'm still holding on to that uni, still holding on to uni life, not uni life, uni studying, because I don't really get the uni life when I'm only going to uni once a week, which isn't a bad thing because I'm working 5 days a week. And yeah, just thinking about how I think I've grown as a person over the last 5 years, going from 17 years old to now 22, and there's someone coming. I might just chill for a minute. Or do I just carry on? Maybe I carry on. Pretend that I'm doing some sort of FaceTime. Yeah, why not? This is part of the character growth, isn't it? Yeah. How are you today? Makes it sound like I'm on a FaceTime, so yeah. Hiya. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So, wasn't so bad. I could carry on. Don't know if he said hello. Kind of just like looked at each other a couple of times, and then he's pretty much gone now, with his dog. So yeah, a lot has changed, and it's really nice to actually have that reflection, thinking that I think 5 years ago I was thinking, oh, I want to do something to do with writing, maybe journalism. Although I didn't do journalism at uni, I think writing more broadly, and if that went into journalism, then it went into journalism. But to now think where I'm at now, where I'm completely set on becoming a therapist, is so interesting, and it's really cool to kind of look at how like each chapter of your life develops, and you can't necessarily predict it. Obviously, some people might have a goal from a young age, and they know that's their path. I now know where I'm at now, that is my path, so I feel quite lucky with that too, because I think I'm still young. Obviously, I've done the whole uni stuff. I've been to uni for 4 years and had that part of my life, and now this is like a new chapter, and it's quite nice to think about the 5-year sections, because one was pre-uni, one was post-uni, and one will be post-uni again, and post like my training. So it's kind of, it works perfectly for Dips's suggestion, actually. And yeah, in 5 years time, I would think maybe me and my girlfriend, well, I say maybe because of like financially whether it's feasible, but I will say hopefully we will have a house. I don't know where we'll be living, but that's also very exciting. I would like to think that I would again have developed. I think there's so much, like, we can all be developing, there's so much room for development that we should always be growing, and I think we always are in some ways. Is that true? Okay, I think we all have the capacity to be growing, to always be growing, even if it's like the smallest amount. I think we can be growing until we die, in some way or another. not a very well thought through concept, but I think I stick by it. Yeah, I think in 5 years I'd like to have developed a greater understanding of myself and my identity, who I want to be, in all different areas of my life to different people. What kind of, continue developing an understanding of what person I want to be and the relationships I have with close people, my close ones, like family, my girlfriend, my friends, my colleagues, future colleagues, who I want to be and my role in these different relationships that I have. I think it's really important to think about, and how I am now, and then I'll be able to reflect in 5 years on how I was now and how I've changed, because I'm documenting it all here, and I think it's really cool. Obviously I'm not documenting everything, but I'm documenting quite a lot of my life, so that's going to be cool. Yeah, I wonder whether I'll still, I guess at that point in 5 years I will have developed some sort of private practice, maybe, or I'll be working in somewhere like the NHS. No, I don't think I will be. I could be working in an organisation, or like a group of therapists, like that kind of organisation, rather than my own private practice. But I don't know yet. It'll be interesting to see if I end up wanting to continue working in schools. And yeah, I actually did a video when I was in Exeter, so that would have been 20, I think it might have been, would that have been 5? No, it might have been like to me in 3 years or something, but interesting to watch that back properly and see where I'm at, and whether any of my predictions came true. I know that one of them, because this was during my masters, so kind of not last year, the year before, like I think it was probably December time even, so only a year and a bit ago, nearly a year and a half. But yeah, I think at that point I don't know if it would have looked the same, but I would have known then that I wanted to become a therapist. So yeah, but interesting. Even when I started my masters in psychology, I think that was a fairly quick decision. It wasn't like a panic masters last minute, oh I don't know what to do, but I thought it through a bit. But even then it took until like sort of the much later stages of my undergrad, my English degree, where I was writing more like about human experience, human behaviour, this kind of thing. So I think I realised that I'm interested in that sort of stuff. But to do psychology, I can't map it exactly when, but I've tried to map it. I don't know if it was really the case. I think it might have been on holiday that I was speaking to my mum and saying this is what I want to do. But yeah, and then went and did that. What was I saying? Yeah, so even at the start of my masters, I thought I wanted to do a doctorate, because I thought that was a way to become a therapist. But actually, yes, you can be some kind of therapist or psychologist, but then I've ended up doing a different route, and I'm so glad that I did, and that I discovered this was a route, because it's quite difficult finding within this sector what you want to do, and what's the right path, whether it's like a PhD, a doctorate, counselling, psychotherapy and counselling, like so many different things. But yeah, I think, because I need to stop now, I think in 5 years I would have liked to develop much more as a person, develop my identity, grow and become a better person, like always becoming I say better, that's maybe not the right term, but like gain a better understanding of myself and make sure that I'm being, I don't know, becoming more and more like a positive, trying to have a positive impact on other people's lives, both people close to me and also in work, in life itself here, I want to continue doing this. 100% I'd like to still be doing this in 5 years. And so I'm currently at, how many subscribers am I on? 464. So in terms of that, just to like document it here, that would be quite interesting to see. But regardless of the number, also just seeing how I change on here and how I continue trying to like build up a community here, and seeing how many people that watch it now are still here in 5 years will also be really cool. And that would be kind of crazy if anyone was, to be honest. But also I would love that. I just don't expect that, you know. Yeah, I think I'd like to, I don't know, I like to think that I'd be doing some sort of other things on the side, but again, it's going to be pretty busy with uni over the next few years and working, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to do lots of other things in terms of pursuits other than just like them being hobbies, like, if you know what I mean. So if I was writing something, it would only be, I don't want it to become like a necessity or something that I have to chip away at like every day, and then it becomes a bit laborious, a bit of a chore. So that's not what I want to do. But yeah, I don't know how good of a explanation. I feel like I could have gone a lot more into this, but I can always do another one. So thank you again, Dips, and thank you again to everyone that has commented so far on yesterday's video to give me ideas. I feel like I'm already in a better position to do the videos again, because yeah, I was having a bit of a creative block maybe. So yeah, right, time for me to go to work, and I'll speak to you, well, I'll either speak to you or I'll do one of those short videos, not shorts, but like short montagey videos tomorrow. I'll see, because it's uni tomorrow and I'm very excited. Okay, bye everyone. Nearly forgot then. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and take care. Bye. Thank you for watching.